Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to service. This is gonna be the worst mistake I've ever made. Today we're doing like our pre-service stuff. We're gonna do trivia, and every time I get a question wrong, they're gonna shave part of my head. So place your bets in the chat. I am so terrified right now. Like, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
We're not. He needs a haircut.
And we shot this after the message. So if I have longer hair in the message, that's why. It's not a wig.
It is a wig. We made a wig out of all the hair we're about to cut off.
Yeah, we know we can donate
Oh my
it.
god.
Rock will wear it next week.
Yeah. I feel like it's long enough to donate it. Like
Lots of love right
love,
here.
yeah.
All right, so who gets to go first?
you do.
You do.
Yes. Don't be looking
Wait,
at my
Brock, can you hit
question.
next on the PCL clock?
Oh, yeah, I'm on it.
Cut that.
Do you like sports?
No.
Wonderful. Which legendary player has won the NFL's Most Valuable Player award more than any of his peers?
Tom Brady.
Nope, Peyton Manning.
Oh!
So sorry. You want me to pray first? Are you a little bit scared?
Oh, sorry.
Are you afraid?
Oh my gosh.
All right, here it goes.
Wait, have you ever had short hair before?
Like when I was 10.
Wait, have you ever been bald
We'll put a
though?
photo in, maybe.
Yeah. It's actually bald right now, Tyler.
I feel lighter.
It's not bald,
The
I
clip
promise
fell
you.
off,
I
actually.
don't have any
Well,
TV
not
in front of me
yet.
to notice, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna trust them.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay, who goes next? Casey, I think you should go next.
All right.
I don't know mine yet.
Tyler,
Oh, jeez.
I have a trivia question. When is the first time we met? Oh, yes, Tyler.
Might as well just take the right one.
I feel like
Do
there's.
you know the answer?
Of course I do.
She's a mom.
She's a mom.
not
She's
a
your
mom.
number.
What is the answer?
Nope, it's too late.
Okay, too late. How do you work this thing? Yeah,
Oh, you should be afraid because she doesn't even know how to use
Yes,
it.
exactly.
I'm just
And
admiration.
I want everyone.
Wait, I don't know how to use it either.
Are you ready?
Oh my gosh. I feel that. Aw.
Wait, I don't think I got it. Because I don't. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Saw that. That was gross.
I carved my name in your head.
Okay, Riley, you get the next question.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What kind of gum am I chewing? They said I can ask anything.
It was. That's it.
Experiment.
Nope.
Yes!
Okay, what kind of gum are you chewing?
Do you know?
Peppermint?
What brand? No. What brand?
Extra.
Extra.
Yeah! Shoot, I knew that.
About it.
Wow.
Riley didn't even get
That
it.
was nice.
You didn't do it, Rye.
Yeah, there you go.
Brock's running in right now. This is gonna be fun.
So good. Okay. All right. So we're getting a little bit of help over here with questions. All right, McKenna Dawson. It's a Dawson question.
Tyler, who do you have a crush on right now?
Shave it!
Wait, I genuinely don't know what I'm doing either.
Oh my gosh, it's terrifying.
The clip is still on, Tyler.
Can we carve dogs?
He has a clip in his hair?
Wait, you can
keep
keep
going.
going.
Yeah,
You can
over
keep
here.
going.
There's a lot of hair.
No,
Look at you, missed a spot.
Okay, it's my turn again.
Wait, Brock, I hate you.
Hold on. So you said you love sports.
Yes.
Totally.
That's the amount of hair coming off of your body right now.
What is the first rule of Fight Club?
Don't talk about Fight Club.
Oh! So you kind of like.
It's
No,
a
no.
movie.
No, that's.
Tyler, your turn.
No.
Okay, my turn.
I will cut
What's
you.
the best baseball team?
Well, who am I? Well,
Oh,
who's
shit.
answering?
Who's asking you? It's a question.
It's true. It's obviously the Giants.
Oh! Two in a row.
Do you have another question?
What if he just stays like this?
No.
What if this is the end of it? Okay.
Attention, all barbers. If I don't make it through this, I will pay whatever it takes to get this.
Jody.
All
We
right.
should
We
have
need
a
Jody.
sponsor. We should have a
Jody.
sponsor.
Do I have Jody waiting in the wings? I don't know who Jody is. So
No,
maybe.
there's no Jody.
Gosh.
Brock is waiting
She's
in the
not
wings.
single though, sorry.
Riley.
Well, yeah. That's what kind of.
This was a little bit challenging. What color is painted on my big toe? Only on my big toe, because the other four are different colors.
Why this thing? Green?
No, a yellow smiley face.
Oh.
Color?
Yellow is part of
Get
it.
this right here. It's kind of long.
He needs to go.
Woo!
Can we just let it be a mullet in the back?
Okay.
No.
Can it just stay long?
I am not joking on it.
It is kind of a mullet right now.
Yeah.
You look so young. Oh, Tyler.
But I
Let
feel
me look
defeated.
at you. Let me see you, Tyler.
I said we keep it.
Aw.
Tyler, what is my
It's
favorite-
my turn.
Why?
Didn't you already ask 2 questions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've asked 1.
No, I like Natalie. Let her go.
Okay, go. Ask your question.
Okay.
I don't even have one, I'm not gonna lie. What color is on my toes?
Oh snap.
Oh man.
You're wrong.
Nothing.
No, purple.
What?
Right here, McKenna.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. We're going.
I can't say anything, so
I'm
this will be
stepping
fun.
on this. Oh yeah.
In case you heard that.
Can I just keep going? It's kind of fun. All right, there you go. You got a little fluff in the back.
We have 7 minutes left. Hurry up.
All right, Mom, it's your turn.
What city?
You look like
is
a new
the-
man.
You do look like a new man. What?
My eye switches my stigmatism.
Okay.
Never mind.
What city is the second largest in Australia?
Oh.
Perth?
What?
Perth?
I don't think that's even in Australia. That's not the right answer.
Definitely.
Okay, well
Definitely
that's still
Australia.
the wrong answer. It's Melbourne. Melbourne? Melbourne?
Melbourne.
Isn't that the giraffe from?
It's Marty.
Oh,
Wow.
it's really
Nice.
close. It's close.
Wow.
Ew. All right, I gotta go.
Are you ready?
No. I was not ready when we
Can you
started.
turn around and show the camera what you look like right now?
With this question.
Please turn
We
around.
might leave you like this.
Please turn around.
Please do a 360. This is amazing.
My shadow looks different.
Does your head feel lighter?
Yeah.
You better warn Aaron and Joe that you shaved your head so they don't have to call the police on you.
Oh, look at Natalie's faith
They
in
probably
you.
will anyways.
You know, you have a widow's peak there.
I know. Leave it.
Okay.
I don't think you can fix a widow.
Where-
You can, but it looks bad.
Where was I born?
Yeah. Riley inspired.
Wrong.
What? And lied to me. Thanks, dog.
Are you ready?
No.
She doesn't remember.
She's trying to figure out what to do right now.
She's really busy.
I've always wanted to be a hairstylist.
She's still trying to get on Instagram.
So I wanted
She's just going for it right now.
Over here.
Oh yeah.
This is really good.
I hope this is funny.
This is too long. Okay. Good.
All right, Rye. Do you have any more questions?
Let's see. What
Careful
else do I
back
know?
there.
How many hairs are on Riley's head?
I don't know, but Jesus knows the answer.
Out of which fingers on my hands are there any crooked? If so, which ones?
I want to say it's your pinkies.
But are there any crooked? Because that could be Bub.
I don't know.
Exactly.
You're all the same
You
to me.
don't know. Yes, it's my pinky.
So you almost had a chance. You almost had a chance, but you doubted it.
Can we shave your beard off?
No. No, that stays.
I'm
Come on.
doing the lightning bolt one.
Can you give him the 3 lines on the side? Like, make it look cool.
No, that's not cool.
What is my favorite color?
I'm not even here.
I love these questions.
Wait, wasn't it your turn, McKenna?
I want to know this answer, though, because she changes her favorite color every day, so it could be a new one today.
What is my favorite color?
I want to say blue.
That's
No,
wrong.
it's green. It's always been green, always will be green.
I did not know that.
I know that.
It's not purple?
That's why
Comment in the chat your favorite color.
Yeah, we want to know your favorite color now.
And we won't shave your head if you...
No, they will. We'll come to your house. We'll find you.
Yeah, mobile.
Especially you, Tito. He said donate shaved.
I think Tyler's enjoying it.
I'm just trying to fix it.
We'll see you here next month when it grows
Mom,
out.
you jacked up Dax's hair when you cut it, too. She's not the right person to let you look at his face.
What?
No, it was because I
No.
tried to do a barbershop like fade on
All right,
him, and I'm
Tyler,
not that
how much did I weigh when I was born?
8 ounces.
No.
8 ounces? Shoot, that's not like what?
I'm not a mom.
A lot more than that.
8 pounds.
8
8 pounds. 8 pounds. 8 pounds.
5 ounces. You were wrong.
Can I shave this?
I did say ounces, so I'm close.
No, you said the
Pounds,
word ounces.
Tyler.
You missed
There are
no
ounces
pounds.
in there.
You missed all the pounds.
A lot more than 8 of them. Nice.
Looks good.
Am I supposed to shave that?
Do it.
Go for it, yeah.
Yes.
It's come along right there.
Ooh, can I go next? I have a good one.
Riley, you need a question to go next.
I know I have it.
Look at this little girl.
Okay, next.
Okay.
Okay.
We have 3 minutes.
How tall was I in 5th grade?
As tall as you are now, you're a giraffe.
Give me that.
I was 5'4".
You were tall.
Yes, I was a
That
giant.
was how tall I am now. I still am. I'm not
You're
like
shrinking.
that's not like I was.
So
Wait, can you
Tyler,
show them right now what you look like? 360.
Oh,
Update.
okay.
Who do you like better?
Oh,
Me or Natalie?
Casey.
Nope,
there you go.
wrong.
She's just gonna shave the rest off in the winter, and you messed up, Tyler.
Yes. Let's leave a little.
Either way.
A ducktail, is that what they're going? Spoke too late, she's already doing it.
Yeah, there's a little.
Well, Tyler,
Yeah.
it looks like you were really the biggest.
You missed the whole front. Like,
You're definitely the biggest loser
Brock, he
tonight.
gets the
all right, Brock, want to finish it up?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, let's do it.
Lexi wants to do one. Lex, what's your question?
You have to ask him a question.
Make it good.
I have a riddle for you. What can go in a corner
I
and
know.
go around every single state without moving?
Here you go, Lex.
It's a stamp, by the way.
Oh, good one, Lex.
Does she know what she's doing?
No, but that's what's more fun. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Okay.
That's his
beer.
over here. No.
no.
This
Okay.
is sticking out over here.
Okay, Lexi, you're done. Sorry.
And
Someone
then he
else,
has
please.
some hair that fell on his lip. Can I get rid of that?
Casey, don't do me like that. Come on.
All right, Lex, that's good. Any last words, Tyler? Any last opinions, thoughts?
What do you think about your new haircut?
How are you feeling right now? Do you feel lighter?
Will you study for trivia next time?
Yeah, Tyler, we think you're a champ.
Do you think you can run faster now?
We think you're awesome.
Yeah.
Do you think you know the answers to all the questions?
You can swim faster.
Do you think next time you'll ask us questions about ourselves before you ever started trivia with the Dawsons and the Johnsons ever again?
This is not my idea. This is Brock's.
The dance.
Do you think next time you'll pay for your haircut?
Oh, 100%.
You don't want us to do this again?
So originally, this was supposed to be done 2 weeks ago, but Brock's like, no, we'll wait. And now barbershops are open again. So
Well,
funny, right?
I think it's
It's funny.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
sure you
awesome.
do.
We think it's good. I
Thanks
feel
for
like
I actually think it looks like not too shabby.
if you guys
Could be
think
worse.
Tyler's haircut is amazing and that we should be able
Comment
to cut it
in the
again,
chat.
comment in the chat.
I think
Don't
next time you
think?
pay us to do it
I
because
think
I
he
think we're
owes
good.
us
I'll
money.
pay you.
We should get a tip for cutting your hair.
Totally. I
We
know,
do.
'cause
My
look
tip
what
is
a
do
great
better.
job we did.
Oh, his tip
Wait,
was
that
to
was
do
actually
better.
really good, Tyler.
Oh, let me take the clip off real quick and clean you up.
All right, thank you guys so much for being here. We have an amazing rest of the service. Stay tuned.
I know I'm called for more than this, more than the lies the enemy pries inside the minds of the young and hurting. I know I'm worth more than this, more than the stars in the sky that his hands aligned. He named them and remembered me. I dreamt of more than this, more of a given future that was driven by his unending love for me. I am worthy? How can I be? When every lie and cry I've called out behind closed doors of shame. I am worthy. How could I be? The disorders, the harassment and abandonment, has it not broken me? Am I worthy? I guess I could be, but if I'm made in his image and so is she, why is she made better than me? Am I worthy? I assume I am, because his words are true, and the God of the heavens hasn't lied to you. He says you're worthy, because 29:11 tells me I get a future, evil behind me and in front of me prosperity. You're worthy. Romans 5 verse 8 says, even while I sinned, he died for me and felt my pain and loved me unconditionally. You're worthy. 2 Corinthians sings that even in my weakness I am strong, and next to Christ is where I belong. You're worthy. Am I? I am. You are.
You are very short. Does anybody? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, sorry.
What is up, Southwest students? I am Jess.
And And I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, I'm better doing it. Okay, and I am Brock. Welcome to Southwest Students on Wednesday nights. We are hanging here in our kind of studio, but not really studio. We have the Brad and Bougie set over there, but we are here in our set, and we're letting you guys all know what's going on tonight. So it is Worth Week, and it's just a week focused on the fact that we believe that you are worthy, and Jesus believes that you are worthy, and so we want to talk about that kind of stuff, talk about the way that we think about ourselves, all that good stuff. And so tonight we got some leaders who are sharing some incredible stories, personal stories of things that they have been through in their life. It's going to be an incredible night, right, Jess?
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. Great people and people sharing their stories. How can people get involved in a little bit of what's going on in the Hippie Haps tonight?
You guys can comment in the chat because we would love to know what you think.
Yeah, so go like what, name, and then we could do favorite
Summer snack.
Yeah, okay, we'll name and then favorite summer snack. Yours, what's yours?
Watermelon with tahini.
If we were not on camera, I would literally push you over right now.
Oh, wow.
That is maybe top 5.
Tell me why.
Number 1, chips and salsa.
Oh.
Number 2, Popeye's chicken sandwich. Is it a meal? Is it a snack? I qualify it as a snack. And number 3, water with basil. I'm just kidding. But moving on from the weird food things is, was you water and grass? It literally would taste so gross. Wait, do you know, have you ever noticed how like when kids come inside when they're playing all day, they like take their cup and they're like, I don't know, summer to me, if the summer was a meme, it would just be a kid like, I don't know. Okay, we're getting really off track, and Tyler will most likely have to edit this out. But one thing that we always say that I hope you're sick of us saying, because we should be saying it all the time, is that you can't do life alone. You can't. You got to be in a small. You've got to be surrounded by people. If you have accepted Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you're like, Jesus, I believe what you've done for me. All that stuff. You have to be plugged in with people who love you and will support you and fight for you. So make sure that you get involved in a small group. If you're struggling, get with people who will help support you. You can't do life
alone.
Okay, and Jess, what else is not just tonight? We also got stuff coming this week, right?
We have a lot of fun events coming up, which you can check out on our social
Yes.
media. We have Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram at Southwest Students, and last but not least,
TikTok. And our very own like Scooter is going to be TikTok. I swear that kid's going to be TikTok famous. And last but not least, we have a leader who has written a letter to themselves when they were 16. We hope that you get something incredible out of what we're about to experience tonight.
Hey, I'm here with some amazing leaders, and I just want you guys to get to them. Will you guys start by introducing yourselves?
I'm Tyler. It's our name, job, and yeah.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Okay. I'm Tyler. I work here at church. I'm the video guy for the kids and students department. So I'm normally not on the couch. I'm normally back behind the cameras. So this is super awkward for me.
You put on your nicest black shirt.
I did put on my nicest black shirt.
So good. Thank you for
and
that,
my nicest
Tyler.
black socks. So you're welcome. My favorite ice cream would have to be cookies and cream, hands down.
All right.
I'm Tori. I'm a nanny and also a worship leader here at Southwest, and I'm gonna have to concur. Cookies and cream is the best ice cream
Out
flavor.
of all the ice cream flavors?
Yeah.
All right.
Nice. My name's Casey. I work in kids ministry. What? And I don't like ice cream, so.
At all?
Not really. So I would say candy.
What's your favorite candy then?
Gummy, sour.
Oh, those are good. You don't like ice cream? That's crazy.
That's such a twist.
Like I said earlier, this is a week on Worth, and so I have some amazing leaders here who have some amazing stories. So I want you guys to get to know them a little bit better. Tyler, if you're comfortable, do you want to just tell us a little bit about your story?
Yeah. So pretty much all through I wasn't raised a Christian, so gotta keep that in mind. So I didn't start going to church until I was about middle school, and started going with a friend named Michael Hall. Shout out to Michael Hall if you're watching this, probably not. But yeah, so I didn't start going to church until about middle school. Started going actually to the Wire, so I've been here forever. With who used to be our middle school pastor, Kevin Mahaffey. So shout out to you if you're watching, probably not.
Wow, you're old.
I am super old. You remember him? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Super old. Yeah. So kind of all throughout middle school, just kind of showing up just to help out on the tech team and just to hang out with my friends. Didn't really understand what church was or what a faith-based community was like, to an extent. And then, yeah. So then jumped to high school. I was still involved in the church, but I was only showing up when I was scheduled to serve. And I kind of pretty much walked away from my small group, wasn't attending high school services at all. And then, Yeah, so I wasn't attending high school services, and then I just started dating, which we all know is always can be hit or miss. Yeah, so then I started kind of losing myself to an extent, and was defining my personality by the girls I was dating, by my friendships, by my relationships, and got to the point where I looked like you always hear this cliche, I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. But it got to that point junior year where I was in like almost like a 2-year on and off relationship. And I didn't recognize who I was. And I felt, I'll be honest, absolutely worthless. And it wasn't until one of my good friends passed away that kind of shook me and realized I had to reconnect myself with Christ and get back into the church.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
slowly started getting back plugged in again.
Yeah. I have a couple other questions. Do one of you guys want to share your story too? And then we'll move on.
Yeah, sure. So for me, kind of, I don't really know how to get into talking about stuff like this without just going kind of straight into it, but pretty much my senior year was a really, really rough time for me personally. I was fighting with my mom all the time, to the point where she actually asked me to move out and move in with my dad. They got divorced when I was younger. And at that point, that kind of just opened up like a door in my mind to be constantly like questioning my worth, who I was, why my mom didn't want me living with her, all these things. It just kind of created an opening for me to just try to find worth and like validation in other things. So I kind of went to like guys and other worldly things that basically just left me feeling even worse than I was at the start of it. And it took a lot to kind of get out of that funk and being stuck in like a rotation of just not knowing who I was anymore. And that kind of just all the while I was leading in the church and kind of trying to figure out why I wasn't believing what God was saying about me in the scriptures. So that's pretty much.
Yeah, and I feel like there's an underlying thing in both of the things you say, and you talk about how like worldly things will never be able to give you your worth.
Yeah.
And the second they're taken away, it seems like our worth goes with it. And so I think everyone recovers kind of from those situations differently.
Yeah.
And no matter what, we all find our worth with God, but in different ways and kind of in different seasons. So do you have, Casey, when you were in a time of feeling worthless, how did you recover? Like what process did you take?
You know, it's funny because we've all heard Pastor Ricky sing that song, Turn Your Eyes Upon Jesus.
Yeah.
And that was literally my song when I was going through my rough time, because it's so easy when we take our eyes off of him to look to the right or look to the left. And when you do that, it's like you see these whirlwinds over and you get sucked into that. And the whirlwinds are your situation, your hurt, you know, whatever has taken place. But if we keep our eyes focused on him, it's like all of this, it goes dim because he's what mattered. And that doesn't mean that when we keep our focus, that it's not, you know, it's all easy, because it's not. It's still hard.
Yeah.
It's still hard. So I think that for me, it was just asking the Lord to keep that joy in my heart. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desire of your heart, was a very scripture that was very close and dear in that season. It still is a favorite of mine. But I knew that if I kept my focus on him and fought for that joy, because when you're going through the things that you're going through that are devastating, that's sometimes one of the first things that starts to go. But if the enemy gets your joy, you're toast.
Yeah.
Toast.
I think it's huge. You always hear preachers say too, like, the devil works real hard to take our joy and to make us feel worthless, because once we're there, it's kind of hard to come out of those times. So do one of you guys want to answer that question too?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay.
What a gentleman.
Wow.
You taught me right, Casey.
Honestly, it's something where like I feel like personally I don't think I've like recovered per se, like from getting out of it completely, because there's definitely going to be highs and lows and times when you feel like you're put right back in the moment where you feel like worthless. But it's been really important to me to realize that like you can read and see all the scriptures and try to remind yourself that God says you're fearfully and wonderfully made, but it's always like an active brain like thing where you have to tell yourself, basically rewrite what people have told you forever. And seeing and reading it and understanding that that's what God says about you is totally different for me than actually believing it. So that's been like pretty much a lifelong thing that I need to believe with my whole heart, that like what God says about me is true.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much where I'm at in that, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I have one last question for you guys, and I'll have you all answer this one. But if there's one piece of advice that you could give to yourself when you were in your darkest times or when you felt worthless, what would it be?
Sorry, I have two pieces of advice. One, sorry, I'm an overachiever, kind of. Surround yourself with strong Christian friends.
Yeah.
And like strong Christian mentors.
Yeah.
Like that's super important, especially those of you on small groups. Lean on your small group leaders. That's what they're there for. You know, even like you talked about it a little bit. Like we have to declare it. We have to declare our worth.
Yeah.
Not just in our heads. We have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because when you say it out loud, it actually goes to your heart. So.
Yeah.
Those are my two.
What about you?
For me, it sounds so cliche and it's like it's so crazy, but it's honestly that it's okay to not be okay, that you don't have to like be perfectly on all the time, and that you can be hurting, and that's totally fine. And find help and mentors. Mentors are amazing. My mentor got me through so much.
Yeah.
And I like what you said, Tyler. Surround yourself with people that are strong and positive and encouraging, because the world is gonna speak death to you,
Yeah.
no matter what. But he's never gonna do that to you. And I feel like for me, he always seems to speak to me through one way, is through song. And that song that says, I am who you say I am. And don't ever forget that, because you are. Because the world is gonna beat you up verbally and tell you, when you stand in the mirror, girls, this is wrong, you know? But God will never do that, because we are created in his image.
Yeah, those are all good things. I have three last points, and I feel like you guys kind of stole them from me, I'm not gonna lie. Like everything you just said were definitely the last points, but the first one is to know your worth. And like you said, saying it and believing it are two different things. So when you speak it out loud, it actually goes to your heart, and when you declare it, I think it's so much stronger and more powerful. Also know that no one or no thing will ever affect your worth. It's so easy to think that people can take your worth away from you, and I promise you that they can't, but only when you find your worth in Jesus. The second one is know that there are people supporting you. I think that when you feel worthless, it's so easy to also feel lonely, like they kind of go hand in hand. So know that if you're not plugged into a small group, get plugged into a small group. You have three amazing leaders right here. And if you don't know where to get started, DM us, because we have so many things that we want you to get plugged in with. And the last one would be to know that God is bigger than any situation. And when you're in those situations, it's so easy to feel like God might not be there with you, and he might not know what you're going through. But I think in those moments, you have to know that God is bigger and he will get you through it. So with that, thank you guys for being here. I love each and every one of you. Don't forget to get plugged into a small group, and enjoy the rest of the service.
Dear 16-year-old Natalie, this will be the year that you make some tough decisions. You will be searching for an identity that you will allow to be defined by friends and your social status. You know Jesus, yet you fail to hear his voice because you have allowed the voices of others to be louder. That still small voice that is telling you to stay strong and do what is right is being drowned out. Each rejection, each time you feel alone, each time you feel heartbreak, you will grow more weary. Weariness will lead to a place that feels like rock bottom, praying for the storybook romance in the place that looks more like a teenage nightmare. Boys that are looking for a good time and girls willing to give that makes it so hard to stay strong. Each breakup that tells a story of just not good enough. You see, that story you are playing in your head of just not good enough will lead you to let your guard down, to accept less because you feel you deserve less. Not understanding that the God who created the heavens and the earth created you and loves you more than anyone ever could. The rumors in the locker room and the boy who told your secrets will break your heart into a million pieces. Feeling the shame that is weighing you down will cause you to grow harder against the things that are good. The pieces you give away each time you search for your identity in something other than those who Jesus created you to be will cause you to create an identity based on things that will never last. That friend that you found out was talking about you behind your back will leave you with more trust issues, but someday there will be reconciliation in your relationship. Stop trying to hurt her back, but walk away. That boy you will do anything for their attention will end up being someone you would never want to be with. That 16-year-old mindset of being the best years of your life will change. You will look back and wish you would have just said no, just walked away, not taken people or things for granted, because that 16-year-old self will grow into a woman who eventually has to deal with all the decisions that are a domino effect from that decision your 16-year-old self will make. 16 years of age and already facing things you don't even know what to do with. Slow down, breathe, stop running so hard. Stop chasing that false thing. Slow down and breathe. Stop letting the people around you define you. Slow down and breathe. Focus on things that matter. Slow down and breathe. And lay your hurt, shame, and guilt at the feet of Jesus. You feel like your parents don't understand you, love you, or even care about the things you are facing. That is a lie. This lie will be one that causes you to isolate yourself from the two people who love you most, the two people who would do anything to protect you. They will speak truth to you that'll be hard for you to hear, but will bring life if you'll just listen. They speak that truth because they have walked in your shoes before. They have had the same struggles. It may not have been exactly the same, but it hurt just as bad. High school is hard, but it's not what will define you. High school seems so important, but in the big scheme of things, you won't even be friends with half of the people you're in high school with. High school is hard, but if you focus on good grades and work hard, you will be able to accomplish more from learning good study skills. I know that I sound like my mom, but she was right. No matter what mistakes you have made at this point, it's not too late to turn around and make better choices tomorrow. Stop gossiping, stop giving into peer pressure, stop settling for anything less than best. Stop listening to the lies and stop judging others that you have no idea what they're walking through. You will find the man that will love you unconditionally. He will take care of you for better or worse through sickness and health. He will be your protector and provider, and yes, even your ride or die. Just don't worry right now about that because Jesus has other things he needs you to focus on. So when you meet your guy, you will be able to give him your whole heart and not just your pieces. Just know, Natalie, that there will be many more tomorrows that will be hard, but that as you begin to know that you are a daughter of the King Most High and that you have calling and destiny on your life, He is the only He that can set you free. That He is the only one who can love you unconditionally. He is the only He that will accept you just as you are, so come to Him just as you are. He doesn't give His heart in pieces, but He will pick up all your pieces and put them back together. Speak to Him about all you need and where you are, and allow Him to speak words of life over you. Today is the day that you can choose to allow God to shape your identity and stop running around and around in the cycle you are stuck in, allowing others to shape that. Find safe friends, speak life into them. Find a good mentor that will hear you and speak life into you. Only date a boy who loves Jesus more than you. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Choose the higher ground and walk in confidence, Natalie, because you are worth it.
We really hope you enjoyed the service tonight. Don't forget about all those fun events, and you can check them out on our social media. Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram at Southwest Students, and our TikTok.
Yeah, come on. There's a ton of great things happening. Make sure you're checking it out. Now it's time for small groups. So make sure you are heading to your small groups on Zoom. You can't do life alone. If you're not in a small group, comment small group in the chat. We'll get you plugged in soon. Peace out, y'all.